St. Alphonsus Ligório was a moral theologian. He wrote so many books, and one of the books he wrote, which is a spiritual classic, if you don't have it, you should get it. It's called Visits to the Blessed Sacrament and the Blessed Virgin Mary. When St. John Paul II wrote about the Eucharist in one of his letters or apostolic exhortations, I forget the category of his writing, but the one saint he recommended so highly was St. Alphonsus Ligório and Visits to the Blessed Sacrament and the Blessed Virgin Mary. And what Alphonsus does is he takes 30 days and he writes a little something to help you when you go before Jesus in the monstrance to make adoration. And you know, brothers and sisters, I've had that book for a long time. And right now, I'm in quarantine. I can't go and make in person an hour of Eucharistic adoration, although I know many of you are making virtual adoration. Praise God for that. But it gives you a little a thought, something to start you. And for so many years, when I would pick up St. Alphonsus, his writings would bring tears to my eyes. Because when you read the words of a saint, they have power. And why should we be very grateful to this saint and for his teaching and his help to meet the risen Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament? Because while we've been only able to make spiritual communions, it's the prayer written by St. Alphonsus Ligório to make a spiritual communion that's being used all over the place. We've been following masses in different locales. You know, we're really enjoying seeing some of the young men who were part of our youth prayer group many, many years ago who are now ordained and priests. And we're loving going to see Father Jonathan celebrate and these different priests whose vocation was born because of baptism in the Spirit and Catholic charismatic renewal. Well, in many of the churches where we've been viewing the Eucharist, after the priest and the deacon are receiving, the priest will say, you may pray with me now an act of spiritual communion. And the particular one that they choose is the one by Alphonsus Ligório. And so Alphonsus can teach us love for Jesus risen in the Blessed Sacrament. And of course, not only to adore him. One of my friends, good priest friend of mine, used to call adoration of the Blessed Sacrament radiation therapy. He said, when someone has a cancer, very often the treatment is radiation. You don't necessarily feel anything that happens when you're receiving radiation, but the healing effect is experienced afterwards. Well, Father Cohen used to say, when we go in the presence of Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament, it's like receiving radiation therapy. The goodness of Jesus, the healing of Jesus, the peace of Jesus, the tenderness of Jesus can heal us interiorly and even in our physical bodies. How much more when we actually are at the celebration of the Mass, brothers and sisters, and won't we all rejoice to be back at the Eucharist? Because we actually receive the body and blood, the soul and divinity of the living and risen Jesus.